Excuse me. I'm posting here. Yeah, as far as gosh, this has been a struggle. And that guy, would you? Holy moly! Very excited. Very excited about it. Oh, right there. That was the background of my first video. This is where it all began. 1 year ago, came up here, videoed my first YouTube intro to, hey, here I am, this is what I'm going to be doing. I had to struggle for some content there for a little bit, but I made it into first cutting. That first cutting video was a big hit. That's what gave me my first, what was it, 1,000 followers or something, and that was huge. Very, very thankful for that. Thank you guys so much. That gave me the drive to continue on with it. I wanted to do it. I knew it was going to be kind of a big deal, but didn't know how big of a deal it was going to be. What I am so glad for is that you guys have stuck around and supported me and commented on my videos, liked my videos, shared my videos. So grateful for you guys. I couldn't ask for anybody better. Looking back just on the few earlier videos that I did and where I've came to this point is really cool. But what I want to do today is a year-end review, end of year review, year's end review, recap of everything we just did over the year. How about that? Wilson and I, when we were driving home from picking up that rake, we were talking about all the stuff that has happened since I've joined with Dad in this hay farming, and holy smokes, has it been a lot. I mean, there's been quite the growth that's happened. But hey, what I want to talk about is what's happened in this past year. So let's get with it. Let's get some better lighting. How about that? As you can see, we are having a little bit of a thaw. This is Indiana. That's happened. Actually, this winter has been one of those that it's what I remember as a kid. It was almost snow from, November all the way to February, March timeframe. Not quite what happened this year, but it's been a little more like used to be. Just cold all the time, always frozen. Creek would freeze over, you could go play on the creek. But this year, about like that. And we're getting just a little bit of a thaw out, which I wish we were able to keep the snowpack on the fields, because just that little bit of snow, you wouldn't believe it, but an inch or two of snow on the field gives a good insulating blanket for that alfalfa. So in the winter, I mean, of course you don't want it to freeze too hard, but you want it to freeze to kill things and keep control of bugs and whatever, but you definitely don't want your alfalfa to freeze. So that's what I'm saying, snowpack, that helps a lot. Anyway, year's end review. Year end. Yeah, so here we go. This was one of the first things that happened in the new year. Can't say exact date it was. End of January time frame that this just popped up, and good price, went and bought it. Turns out works great, very happy with it. Used it on Dad's seeding, and it performed just like I hoped it would. Mr. Procrastination I am, waited until the last minute to build this hitch to tow the thing behind it, and that hitch worked out great. So the guy that sold me this, and sitting down having talks with him, whatever, he said he applies fertilizer. He's got a fertilizer spreader, and over at Daly's, with it being organic, I had to have some chicken manure applied over there. So guess what? Call up this guy. Hey, will you apply that chicken manure? Yep, sure can. That worked out great. All right, on to the next thing. All right, here's the next one. This is the barn found. Not barn find, barn found. Get it? Play on words. I'm so funny. If you go back and watch the video, neighbor down the road, his wife's brothers, they had the barn. Just wanted to get rid of it, sell it, and I bought it. Brought it back here, pressure washed it, stacked it up. Gonna build it this fall. Didn't happen. Yeah. Anyway, it was, we'll just say, reasons that I can't put it up yet. It's gonna get put up eventually, just a matter of time. I'll get there. Still going over the plans and which direction I'm gonna go with it. Thinking about different options and what would be the best way to go. Rather do that than not give it a full thought and do something that I'll kick myself in the butt for later. So that's the next thing that happened this year, and let's move on to the next. And here's the next thing on the list that happened this year. No, not the new paint on the tires. The wheel weights. The wheel weights, silly. Remember? That was a big struggle. Gosh, I got 3 videos out of that sucker. It was that guy right there. That was the struggle. So that one's, yeah, it was fun making those videos, and it was actually fun doing that removal. It's major work, but yeah. So big score on that one. Glad to get those weights put on there. And of course this side, as you know, flat tire during the season. Went back, robbed the tire and weight off of the old tractor back there and put it onto this tractor. Then once the hay season slowed down just a second, I was able to paint everything and make it look better. So that is the next thing that happened this year. Oh, and while we're here, we'll just talk about this baby. And nothing really huge happened on it this year. But let's see. I got that job box put on there, and that holds just random things. Not really had anything huge go in there yet. Moved the fuel tank and actually have it plumbed into fuel hose reel over there. And look at this. These chickens crack me up. They can't stand touching the snow or ice. They get all freaked out. The one earlier just flew across it because it didn't want to touch it. So right there is the preservative tank, and that is the hay preservative. I have it plumbed up. You can see the hose goes right into that cabinet over there, and that is also on a, well, it's not a hose reel, just a small hose. Back it right over there close to the baler and fill it right up. Yee. The item next on the list, right there, that is the 6-basket Tedar that I picked up earlier this spring. And tell you what, it really changed everything, because going from a 4-basket to a 6-basket just speeds up everything so much. It's pretty wild. So that's a huge addition to the farm this past year. A quick review on this Tedar is that, hey, it was an odd year. It's hard to judge this Tedar on the year because it's new to us. We've never used something like this and didn't know how to adjust it. The manufacturer recommended this and we left it at that, weren't happy with it. We adjusted it to that and actually it worked better. So very excited about that one there. All right, on to the next one. Well, here we are, right at the next new improvement for the year. This fabric covering these round bales, love it. Absolutely love it. Now, yes, there's going to be some wet spots on the ends because we don't have it covering everything. But if you were to look down in there, everything that's covered, nice and dry. Beautiful. The airflow in there is great. You can have these ends flapping around. You can see this one, you know, it just flaps around nonstop. And it's been doing it ever since we put the cover on there, and it is not torn apart. Hay tarps, that thing would have been disintegrated, ripped to pieces like an old flag. I love it. I'm very happy about that. So these are full of rocks. They got pea gravel in them. And of course, any water that gets in there is going to drain out. The gravel's not going to hold. And even if it does, it's going to expand just a little bit when it freezes, not going to blow apart. And then this is just Velcro. And it sticks to that very, very well. And that keeps a constant tension on there all the time. And that's the other thing you fight with a plastic tarp is that, yeah, you go ahead and try to tie it down the best you can, but the wind blowing, the hay, you know, squashing down, because that's what it does. Squash, 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 squashing down, because that's what it does. And yeah, you always got to retension that tarp somehow. But with those gravel bags, they call them, they just hang up there and they just do the right thing. They just keep pulling. And yeah, it is working out very, very well. And I think I said this before in another video, but that pile over there, Dad got that piled up one day, and I ran down here real quick, and I bet it wasn't 5 minutes. I had that covered pretty much by myself. He had to go up to the shop for something. By the time he got back, I already had it covered, and it took a few minutes to get those little gravel bags situated and done the way they should, but yeah, couldn't do that with a plastic tarp, that's for sure. All right, so next item on this year's list is hay. So bad lighting, but whatever. This right here is Wilson's first hay. All right, this is where the hay come from. This is Wilson's first field of the year. Very, very exciting. Excited for him to have his own painful experience in farming and rent the land. He's got a contract signed, and yeah, next year, well, actually this year, 2025, going to be very exciting because we're going to have to rip that up and basically do a do-over. Have to, you got to let the land set for a year and redo things. We'll have that in future videos. So, all right, on to the next one. There's the next one. Oh boy, this was a big one. This was a big one. So yes, the Tedar was a big deal, but this is a huge deal. The only way we could make a bigger deal, a bigger change on the farm would be, let's see, maybe a self-propelled mower. So there's the mower, and of course you can see we got a tractor on it, always had. Self-propelled mower, I don't know if that would be as big a game changer as what this guy is, because, okay, we're pulling into a field, 20-acre field. Kubota says this thing can do 18 acres an hour, up to 18 acres an hour. We don't like to drive that fast. It tears up equipment, tears up yourself. So, and it's not good for the crop. So go slower, do a better job, take care of the crop, take care of the equipment. So having two of these, we could probably, I'll love to try it, but we could probably get a 20-acre field done hour and a half. By the time you know, do all the end rows and nooks and crannies and final finishing touches. And before, it's easily 3, sometimes more hours of out there raking. But yeah, okay, huge. Can I say huge again? Huge, huge game changer. And now that you can see them here side by side, you guys watched the previous video so you can kind of look. I mean, seriously, there is not much difference. Not much difference. Oh, now this isn't me, but this is Dad, but this is another upgrade for the year. Every little bit counts, right? Got new shoes for the tractor. Those other ones were getting pretty worn. Pretty much got all the life out of them. What else we got? What's next on the list? Let's see. We got this guy next on the list. Nothing that I was searching for or wanting, but it's an addition. It's helpful. Actually, I've got 2 tanks. So I got this one and the other one. I'll show you that in a second. But this came with the barn that the guy was getting rid of. So yeah, the bonus of having more fuel tanks is the more you buy, the cheaper it gets. So say you're only buying 1,000 gallons and the price is going to be, I don't know, we'll just say $3. And then you go up to 2,000 gallons. Okay, now it's going to be $2.90. So then you buy, say you get up to 3,500 gallons. Well, it could drop clear down to say $2.75 or $2.50 a gallon. So you're saving 50 cents a gallon just by having that extra storage capacity. So having extra fuel tanks is always a plus. And here we go. That's the other fuel tank. Same as the other fuel tank, except this one's red. And the pump is different. And the hose is different. But they're both round and they both hold fuel. So they're the same, right? And here's the next one on the list. Pallets. That's a big thing. Very critical in the hay storage, because if that hay is sitting on the ground, it's guaranteed going to get moldy. If we don't have the hay positioned right on the skid and some of it is just touching the ground, where it touches the ground it gets moldy. Customers don't like moldy hay. So pallets, next thing on the list. On to the next one. Here we go. Here's the next one on the list. I'm very excited about this. This is another big thing that happened this year. Able to rent this barn space and store some hay over here. That was huge. That was huge. Previous year I didn't have storage space except for basically at Dad's, and yeah, that was a mess. Had to store some outside, try to tarp it. Yeah, having this barn space here, holy moly, what a big deal. What a big deal. And if I had my way, these doors would be closed. My hay is at this end. Doesn't matter. His barn, he can do what he wants with it. The bleach out really sucks. You dig in there, it's still green. Hard to see on camera, but there is green in there. They look at that and they're like, ooh, that is terrible hay. No, it's not. It's still good hay. It's just bleached out right there on the ends. You flip that over and it's green. I've said it just a minute ago, but it is. It's huge having this extra storage. And it's not too far from the house either. Works out very well. All right, on to the next one. Here we go. Next one on the list. This was huge for the farm. Not as big as the rake, not as big as the Tedar, but it's probably number 3 big for this year. We got a huge year for equipment upgrades, and we're calling it Wilson's Baler. He's got another couple payments left to make on it, and then it's 100% his. So I can't say he's totally responsible for not cleaning it out. That's bad, Wilson. Bad, Wilson. You need to clean your equipment. got to publicly shame him. So anyway, this baler, it was a hay customer that had some stuff in their barn they were wanting to get rid of. They don't do hay anymore. And we went over there, checked things out. They shot us a price on the baler. Absolutely, we'll take it. And it is not as capacity, not as high capacity as the inline balers, but it still puts out bales. It does nice bales. We're going to make some upgrades on this thing. We need to add the hay preservative spray kit. We need to put a moisture monitor on there, and we'd like to do some other things, but yeah, we'll just run another season and then keep going as we do. Yeah, as far as the baler goes, I'm tickled to death we have it, and it is a very good upgrade for the farm. So, all right, there's that one. On to the next one. This guy, that's the next one on the list. That was also part of the baler stuff that they were selling and trying to get rid of, and that will fit our mowers. And yes, we haven't done it yet, apparently. You can see it's still sitting here, but that was it was on the list to do in the shop whenever that was built, and we put it in there, work on it as we can and get it done. But we haven't built the shop and we can't do that yet. But this is not a big thing for the farm, but it's a big thing for us because it's you just can't find these little scoops for the mowers we got. And yeah, very, very cool thing. So, all right, on to the next one. Here it is. Here is the last, yeah, I think it's the last on the list as far as new addition. Excuse me, I'm posting here. So this is the final piece of equipment for this year on the farm, new addition. Very excited about it, and we are very, very close to being complete with all the additions we're needing to make to get. We're very, very close to having all the additions put on there that will make it usable on the farm. We need to get the auxiliary hydraulics hooked up and the wiring done, and then we're finished with it. So that is the, I guess, the last addition we've had for equipment to the farm. That's a pretty long list. I mean, that's pretty exciting. I can't really think of much else, and if I do, I'll add it to the video. But no, I'm super excited. This year has been huge as far as the growth of the operation. Of course, the YouTube stuff has been very exciting, very fun, and I really hope that this next year we can, keep growing the YouTube and keep you guys entertained. Yeah, as far as so yeah, as far as the year in review, I am tickled to death. This is great. I'm very happy. Everything is going. I don't really have a plan, but if there was a plan, I'll say it's been going according to the plan. So anyhow, that's all I got for this year. Past year. That's all I got for the past year. Gosh, this has been a struggle. And that guy, holy moly. So there we go. I don't know what else has come up for this year. I'm sure there's others, but as far as big things that's happened for the past 2024, there he goes again. So that's it. That's all I got for the year in review. I'm pretty excited what's going to be coming up there the next coming year, and I hope I can keep pumping these YouTube videos out and you guys can stay entertained and keep liking and sharing and subscribing. I appreciate all of you, and hey, we'll see you in the next one.